Welcome to part 2 of the straight line mission across Norway. You rejoin me on the edge of the colossal Storakasvatnet reservoir, having hauled Marius's kayak over 2 miles of unanticipated, rocky, boggy lake bed with my trusty helper Verity, who is probably now wondering why she picked me as her boyfriend.
This is mad.
To my west, 5 miles of cold, choppy water which I plan to kayak across completely straight, all the way to the reservoir's dam where I'd be temporarily reunited with Verity before continuing on into the wilderness. However, with both of us completely unaware that the boat was in fact about to gradually let in water thanks to a missing bolt, and with no guarantee that Verity could even drive round to the dam, there was a real possibility of things going tits up. The last thing I want to do right now is kayak to the furthest possible point your eyes can see. Every bit of me kind of doesn't want to do it, apart from the bit of me that desperately wants to succeed in this straight line mission. It's going to be choppy, the wind's against me obviously. It's going to feel like I'm going absolutely nowhere at pretty much every stage of this, which is what's going to make it so hard. But Verity's got a jaunt of her own to do, so we should probably get going, and hopefully I'll see you around at the dam. Right, wish me luck.
Okay, good luck.
See you later.
See you there.
Bye. Can you push me at all? Ah, I'm stuck on a rock. Fuck me, man. This is... Bye! This is fucked. Some big waves here. Promise to make me feel pretty sick. It's going to be a real job keeping on line. But here we go. Come on. Let's do this. If I can stay on line within 25 meters, I will be over the moon. Right, I'll update you in a bit. Been going about 15 minutes now, and yeah, some of these waves are pretty big. Feeling a little queasy already, but I'm bang on line. I can see the GPS spot on, so that's one distraction. The only other thing I'm trying to concentrate on is that bit of land over there on the side. I'm just trying to aim to be in line with that. The left hand side is miles away, straight ahead is even more miles away, so I'm just concentrating on that bit on the side and trying to ignore how insane this is. Early on, these large waves had me bobbing up and down like a cork, forcing me to reconsider my initial slow and steady strategy. Oh man, before I got to the lake I thought I'd take it easy, take it slow, but no, I'm going for it. I want this to be over as quick as it can be. If my muscles ache, my muscles ache. But the last thing I want is to be stuck in the middle, feeling sick, with still half the lake to go. So I'm going for it. Soon though, having found a good rhythm, the waves began to chill out a bit. And as a result, so did I. Ah, do you know what? I am about as far now from any shore as I can be, and when these waves stop, when the big ones stop, I feel peaceful, I feel safe, I feel calm, a little bit scared sometimes. My main fear is that this boat, there's a couple of holes in it, and Marius has plugged one in at the back with a bolt, but there's another one at the front that I've plugged with some kind of twig, which he said would be fine. If those holes fill with water, the boat can sink, but it's very unlikely. But that's my only fear really. Apart from that, sometimes you've just got to sit back and go, oh my god, where am I? I am in the most remote place, in the middle of a lake, in the wilderness of Norway. You've just got to soak it in, man.
This newfound sense of liberation and confidence pushed me further into the endless conveyor belt of water that lay ahead, until it was time to drink some of it and recharge the batteries for a while.
It's great when the waves die down. Shit, I floated way off. I have floated off, mate. Took my eye off the ball and I floated off. All I did was stop. It's blown me only about 12 metres off, but it's blown me south-eastwards. So if you want to stay bang on line, you literally can't stop. Right, I've had a few jelly babies and a good neck of water. Waves are fairly small. Let's really dig the paddle in now and see how much ground we can make in this next half an hour. Let's do it. Well, I'm doing good, basically, to sum up. This is how far I've got. That's where I am in relation to the right hand wall. The dam straight ahead, still very, very far away, but I can see the shape of it. The waves have died down, as you can see and hear. I'm not seasick, making good ground. Yeah, cannot complain, not in the water.
So very lucky, actually, because by this point, I'd say there was about 2 litres of water inside the boat. It was only now that the waves had subsided that the splashing and lapping of the water into the hole had probably stopped too, stabilising the situation. But of course I was oblivious to all that, and instead my mind was free to focus on another, equally important issue.
Can't help but wonder now, as I approach the second half of the lake, I think, how Verity's getting on. I'd love to know how she managed her hike back to the car, because it's not easy. Second point for concern is the road that Verity's going to need to drive down to get to the dam. It's about 8 miles. It's a gravel track road. If that's closed off, just like the one was last night, for whatever reason, we're pretty screwed. She would have to hike 8 miles to me, give me all the things that I need to carry on the trip, like my tent, sleeping bag, etc. And then hike back, which would be awful for her. I'd feel terribly bad, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So hopefully Verity's almost at the car now, ready to drive over. Maybe I'll see her driving past.
Moving out of the main part of the lake and into the narrow funnel that led towards the dam, the relentless paddling without a backrest was really beginning to take its toll on my body.
It's never ending, man. This is probably the hardest bit of the kayak, because I can just see, like, I'm barely over halfway, I think, and it's just, I've been going for ages. My arms, my back and my legs are killing. I need a piss. I'm contemplating pissing my pants. Nah, I might try and piss in my water bottle, but I don't know. Apparently you can stand up on these things, but I'd rather not risk it.
But then I saw something in the distance that distracted me from my swollen bladder.
Yes, get in. I've just seen a vehicle driving over the dam. That's great news, unless it's some sort of official vehicle. But no, that's boosted the chances that that is a normal public road. Oh, it's pretty still now, isn't it? But my god, it just hurts to paddle. Oh man, I'm gonna piss my pants. I might piss my pants, that's the mad thing. Fuck this, man, this ain't healthy. I've got to have a piss. I've got to work out how to have a piss. Right, piss done. Very, very, very relieving. Let's power on to that dam. I can see it, it's clear. Let's get to it.
The far end of the lake was as calm and peaceful as one could imagine. Its smooth, sheet-like waters, Mother Nature's reward for my hard work and persistence. The narrowing banks that led to the dam felt like crowds of people cheering me on towards the finish line, which, just like in a real marathon, felt like it was moving further and further away from me. But even so, this final kilometre was one I'll never forget.
Just cannot get over how goddamn still this lake is. At this end, the transformation is incredible. It's like the lake I've always dreamed of kayaking on. I can see a person. I can see a person walking. Verity! Well, there's no reply from her, so maybe it's someone else. I can see a car and a person though. Who else could it be? Who could it be now? Oh, let's get over there and find out. Ah, it's never ending. It's an absolute optical illusion. Verity! Yay!
And there you have it. Yep, I'm afraid the boat didn't sink and I made it safe and sound to the dam. But to make up for my admittedly awful cliffhanger, I can show you this footage taken 2 days later, which captures the moment that it finally dawned on us.
The bolt's not in there.
Oh God. Oh God, man.
You're right.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Good God, that was the right journey. Did you get lost?
No, it was okay actually.
Oh, nice one.
Are you gonna go up here?
Yeah.
Quickly realising that we weren't getting that kayak up that dam without breaking it in half, Verity volunteered to paddle off and stash the kayak somewhere safe and hidden for us to retrieve it after the mission, which is what you just saw a moment ago.
Okay. Let's get to the top of this. Fully handed as usual. Will be interesting to see what it does look like on the other side. The second half of this trip, the longer half of this trip, the most dangerous half of this trip. Right, here we go. Moment of truth coming up. That's that side. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That is huge. And that is where I'm heading. Good grief. What have you let yourself in for, mate?
Standing high on the apex of the dam, I could look back over a perfectly still reservoir with a sense of pride, not only having got through it all, but having done so in an impeccably straight line for the most part. On the flip side, glimpses of what lay ahead of me. 9 miles of trackless, uninhabited wilderness. The first 800 metres of which home to some of the steepest gradients I will have ever come up against, as well as a decent-sized river. Despite this, I was confident that with 18 hours of daylight, I could do it all in a day. And that day would be tomorrow. Kayak stashed safely down there, is it, Verity?
Yeah. I did the double knot thingy you taught me.
Good.
I think.
There's a good brownie. Right, so the original plan was for me to tackle 2 or 3 miles of it and see how far I could get, then camp out on my own, because we like a good old wild camp, don't we? But the day is drawing to a close. There's a bit of light left, but to be honest, I'm absolutely shattered. So we're both going to camp together. Down there somewhere it looks like there's a bit of flat ground, so yeah, that should be fine. You'll have to make your way around and I'll have to get down this little piece. But just as I was about to do so, a man came over and chatted to us. I filled him in on what the hell I was doing, as well as some of the highlights so far, and he informed us that the reservoir should be full this time of year and that 3 months ago it was almost empty.
Yeah, you could go over.
Really?
Good God.
Yeah.
He then told us we could camp wherever the hell we wanted because it was Norway.
It's allowed.
It's
no
allowed?
problem.
Oh, cool. I've just got to go down here first.
Before bidding us farewell.
Have a nice trip.
Anyway, thanks a lot. Okay, now. Oh, shit. Okay, now let's do it. See you in a bit. Oh, not another car. I'm going down.
Careful.
Whoa. I can almost run down this. Nothing to worry about. Just looks mental when you look at it there. But actually it's not too bad. Gotta be like a mountain goat. Almost at the bottom. Hopefully there's a good place to camp down here. If not, that lovely chap whose name we didn't get said that it was fine to just park here in a car. So maybe we'll just do that. Apologies for those of you who wanted to see a wild tent camp. I think parking here will do just nicely. Swarm of midges above my head, I'm not surprised. Probably do stink. But I am clocking out for the day. Bag down, GPS system off, boom.
So, after removing the swamp-encrusted socks from my shriveled feet, we got a fire going. Just about.
Okay.
Rustled up some spam and couscous for some reason. And happy with what we'd achieved so far, we watched the twilight slowly set over the teasing trees of tomorrow.
Yeah. Probably won't eat all them. Yeah, licorice all sorts, jelly babies. No time to cook today.
Beef jerky.
Yeah, beef jerky. It's going to be quite a light bag today, as usual. Because I'm 95% sure that I'm going to make it to the end today. Basically 10 hours to do 9 miles. Which I guess isn't nailed on, but I think I'll do it. I've got this on. I'm not taking my rope or harness. It's too weighty, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing with it anyway. So that mountain in the distance is the last mountain, not the one with the snow on, the curved dark one. Over the back of that is Hauknes, the village that I'll be ending in, where hopefully I'll see Verity, and then the sea, the fjord is there as well. Those mountains in the distance are beyond the fjord. Yeah, let's do it.
So, it was time for the adventure to really begin. And what better way to start than diving straight into steep gradient 1, the first of 7 points on the line identified by a Coloradoan whiz kid called Noah, called upon to ensure that the Norwegian version of this didn't happen.
Oh God, fucking scared.
Using state-of-the-art GIS software, LiDAR imagery and a gigantic Excel spreadsheet, Noah was able to identify every 5 or 10 metre plus drop that had a gradient of 70% or above, and the first one lurked just behind this first layer of bush.
See you later.
Good luck.
Right, here we go. It's telling me to go right down here. I'm going to make my way down to the edge and then see what the drop is like. Look how far that is down. There's definitely a precipice down here. Now, I calculated that I don't need to go more than 15 metres to the left. Oh my good God. Check that out. Good grief. I think that's right. I think I can just go down here, can't I? Yeah, let's get down here, shall we? This is doable. Pretty damn steep, but it is doable. Last thing I want is a rock to fall on my head as well. That's also why I've got the helmet on. That's very loose rock. Indeed. A bit scary actually. I like this level of steepness though, because it's just doable.
I shimmied my way down the bottom half of this first steep descent, and gazed back up at its giant mossy steps with a sense of relief and hope. If that was the sort of thing I was up against, not only was I probably not going to die, but I was going to stay fairly close to the line too. There'd be worse to come though. So, tucking my trousers into my socks to mitigate the risk of ticks migrating towards my John Thomas, I headed on down towards the next obstacle.
I have to say the foliage, the trees and the plants are all right to move through. There's nothing really spiky at all really, which is fantastic news because it is summer, but it's all pretty touchable stuff. Oh, what's this drop here? Oh, geez. Okay.
Up ahead was steep gradient 2, the easiest of the 7 in the sense that I would be skirting around it. But first, an unanticipated drop.
I can get down there though, that's pretty good. Got to be careful here because this is underneath the moss is rock, but the drop isn't too big down below. But yeah, this is the look how slippy that is. That's going. So even if I fall down here, I'm all right, but this is practice. This is, you know, if I am really high up, this is good practice to see what happens. I'm gonna grab onto these, I think, and make my way to there. And there, and we're down. As I say, fine when there's not much of a drop.
After skirting as closely as I could to the sheer rock faces of steep gradient 2, which turned out to be 16 metres, I found myself momentarily down in the luscious landscape of the valley floor.
Ah, are we down by the river already? Something tells me this isn't the main river. Might even be able to jump over that. Bang on line. Wow, cool. Maybe this is the river and I'm over it. Next, ascent. This time we're going up, which is safer, especially if there's trees up there. Here we go though. How steep is this one? And how close can I stay to the line throughout it? Feeling it in the legs. Okay, bit of a face here. See, things like this might be really hard to get up if they're slippy, which they are. But we're all good. I'm on line. Look at that. Excellent. I mean, if you look at that, it's quite undulating and irregular. So hopefully there will be lots of these little gullies I can get up if the actual line is too dangerous. Doing great so far. Waiting for it to go wrong.
I didn't have to wait long. So swift was my progress thus far that I didn't realise it at the time. But waiting patiently at the end of this hilltop was the biggest drop of the lot. Steep gradient 4.
Might be heading to our next drop here. Let's see what it's like. Oh. Oh dear. Well, that's pretty bad. Well, that's the line, guys. I didn't think I was here yet. I've got here way quicker than I thought. Yeah, just need to go round up there and down, I think.
This cliff was one of 4, but perhaps the main instance where my plans dictated that I deviate from the line momentarily so as not to snuff it. As you can see on this incredibly detailed map of Norway, the contour lines begin to fan out slightly about 20 metres to the north, and my hope was that I could find a way down here. So I started walking north whilst praying that the deathly drop to my left would start to shrink soon.
We might be going off by 25 metres here, unfortunately, but it's got to be done. So here, what about this? Oh, yeah, I can jump down that, I think. I'll drop that. Shit, that nearly went down a hole. Soft ground, isn't it? Ugh. Oof. Okay, right, gonna have to put the helmet on now. If I'm not putting it on here, I don't know when I am. Okay, this is a bit scary, but let's gauge it. Don't need to do anything I don't have to. Okay, this should be okay. Definitely have gone, by the looks of it, about 25 yards off. What are we dealing with here then? Oof.
This upper section didn't look too bad, but it was what was further down, or rather what wasn't further down, that scared me. I could clamber down to this point here, only to arrive at a 7-metre cliff, forcing me to climb back up with a large poo in my pants.
Oof, good God. Don't exactly know where to go from here. Okay.
The further I inched myself down, snaking my way around some of the bigger drops as I went, the better it started to look.
Yes, that looks good. That's doable. That I can do.
My deviation to the north had steered me clear of the worst of it. The question was, by how far? Well, 28 metres, it turns out. Just outside the platinum zone. Something I suspected at the time, but wasn't sure. Could I have done better by cutting down sooner? In hindsight, maybe. But when you're up there and you're not sure of the drops that lurk below, as well as being on your own with no phone signal and all the rest of it, no, I made the right decision at the time. So, happy to be alive and kicking after what I thought at the time to be the most dangerous obstacle of the entire trip. I continued on down through the trees, over these mystical moss-capped boulders which really were a pleasure to mission through. And down to another semi-unexpected obstacle.
Ah, so we do go in the river again. I knew it.
But on closer inspection, it wasn't the deep body of water that Google Earth had led me to expect.
How wet we'll get here, I don't know, but for now, it's rocky.
After quickly swilling the remnants of yesterday's piss from my water bottle and drinking some of the fresh mountain water that replaced it, I moved on to the second half of the river, where I was presented with another welcome sight.
Oh my God, look at that. We're not going to get wet at all. It's funny, man. What you expect to happen sometimes just doesn't happen at all. The opposite happens. I thought this would be a deep river. You know, it's come from that massive reservoir. No, it's a little trickle with a few stepping stones. Whereas yesterday, I didn't think I'd have to be wading through any rivers, but I did. Okay, up the next descent.
After a tricky skirt along a steep hillside, the land opened up and the trees became scarce. As a result, I began to make very good ground.
This is fine, isn't it? This is really easy going. The terrain, the foliage, really good. This is just absolutely incredible. Thought I could hear a bit of a guttural roar then. You hear it? I'm getting some beef jerky out, because if it's a bear, I want to be able to tempt it. Maybe this is the worst idea in the world, I don't know. Okay, maybe it was the wind or something, but I was sure I could hear this like, this kind of deep snoring almost. Could have been a moose, I guess, but I just want some food out so I can throw that at the bear and hopefully he'll eat that and I'll run off.
With the mystery Snorlax having seemingly vanished, I tucked into the beef jerky myself and continued on up this stunning ridge. I had to stop briefly because they tasted very odd, but they were in date, so I just presumed they were a different flavour to what I was used to.
Right, what do we got here? Oh my God. And this is one of the stonking geographical features that I intentionally
missed off when I tweaked the line. I've just shaved to the right of it, which is the lesser of two evils, as you can see. But shortly after that, something inside the beef jerky bag frightened me more than any geographical feature ever could. Okay, I thought these tasted funny. That is disgusting. You getting that? Oh, I can't even smell that because I've just eaten half the pack. My God. Tasted like fucking fish food. That's going to make me ill, isn't it? As if eating mouldy meat didn't make me want to get to the end quicker, it then started to rain. And it is starting to rain now, which isn't good. Just means everything's going to be a lot more slippy. The streams are going to be all the more swollen. And I'm going to get wet, but I don't really mind about that. I'm too hot as it is. It's definitely going to complicate the climbing though. So that is, whoa, a little spanner in the works. This rain is making this next cliff all the more daunting. A quick look at the line since the dam then, and for the most part it's pretty good in view of the mostly rugged, undulating terrain. As you can see though, the rather ugly looking anomaly that was Steep Gradient 4 is hard to ignore. Hopefully though, despite the rain and the dodgy beef jerky that is now no doubt wreaking havoc in my stomach, there would be no need to deviate that far from the line again. Or would there?
I'm not going to look down, I'm just going to keep going up. Oh. Oh. Come on, get out, get out, get out. Beckham! Oh!